Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing this absolutely beautiful 1 ounce gold bar as issued by the Royal Mint, as well as taking a look at some of the pros and cons in stacking gold bars too. But before I go into any further detail, I would just like to say a massive thank you to the sponsor of this video, Cardiff Gold, who are a wonderful gold and silver bullion dealer based out of Cardiff in Wales. If you haven't already done so, I highly recommend checking out their website, a link to which will be listed in the description of this video. But without being the case, and without any further delay, let's get on with the show. Okay, so taking a look at the bar, the first thing I can see is that it's been issued in this Royal Mint assay card with the emblem for the Royal Mint at the very top, and below that it reads the Royal Mint, the original maker. At the bottom of the bar we can see that it reads Britannia, and below that we have the Union Jack flag of Great Britain. Looking at the bar itself, which was designed by artist Jodie Clark, we can see a wonderful depiction of Lady Britannia with trident in one hand and shield in the other. She's wearing a traditional Romanesque style helmet with her hair flowing freely down from it, and as well as that she's also wearing a scaled breastplate and skirt. Britannia has been set on a background of wavy lines, and if you look at the bottom left corner of the bar you can see that it says Britannia along the shield. Turning the bar over, we can see further details on the back, first of which we can see it has the weight listed as 1 troy-ounce or 31.1035 grams. The alloy is 999.9 fine gold, and it's been signed by Annie Jessup, the Deputy Master and Chief Executive of Royal Mint. At the very bottom of the card it says celebrate, collect, invest, secure, discover. Looking at the bar itself we can see that once again we have the emblem for the Royal Mint and the Royal Mint stated just next to it on the right hand side. Below that it says 1 ounce 999.9 fine gold, as well as the serial number for the bar below that as well. At the very bottom of the bar we can see a wave pattern which symbolises Britannia owning the waves, and above that we have the same wavy lines as shown on the front of the bar. It truly is a wonderful bar with a great design, and once again shows the high quality of work as produced by artist Jodie Clark. But what exactly are the pros and cons in stacking gold bars just like this one right here? Well, we'll start off with the positives. The first of which I've got to say is it's just an absolutely beautiful piece. It feels so amazing to hold a full troy-ounce of gold in the hand. It's so substantial, and as I say, just a wonderful piece to behold. As well as that, with this being gold, it does mean that it is VAT tax exempt here in the UK, as gold is considered as an investment metal. But sticking to the subject of tax, we'll move on to the negatives. The first of which is, with this being a bar and therefore it doesn't have a denomination and as such isn't considered as being legal tender, this unfortunately would not be capital gains tax exempt, whereas the 1 ounce gold coins as issued by the Royal Mint, the Gold Britannias, are both VAT exempt and capital gains tax exempt as well. So I would definitely say that is the biggest negative when it comes to these gold bars, that they aren't CGT exempt, and you may be subject to paying capital gains tax on the profit made from the sale of any of these bars. But that being said, I do really love these 1 ounce bars. I'm becoming more and more a fan of them as the more I see. I really would love to have a bar like this in my stack, but unfortunately for me, this is just a little bit out of my price range at the moment. And that brings us on to the price. What can you expect to pay for a piece like this? Well, it definitely does depend on the spot price of gold, which is forever changing. At the moment, we're seeing quite a spike in the price of gold, and therefore one of these bars would fetch you somewhere in the region of around £1,780, which, as I'm sure you'll agree, is quite a hefty price tag. But that being said, it is a full troy-ounce of fine gold and therefore worth every single penny in my opinion. So, taking all that into account, is this something that you should be going out and buying? Well, that all depends on your personal circumstances really. If avoiding paying capital gains tax is something that's high on your priority list, I would probably say this is maybe not the one for you and you would be better off looking at a 1 ounce gold Britannia. However, if capital gains tax isn't an issue and you're really not worried about that at all, these truly are wonderful pieces and would make a fine addition to anybody's stack. So as I say, the main thing to consider is the potential CGT you may have to pay on sales in the future. The UK government have been reducing the capital gains tax allowance over the last few years, and it has gone down from £12,000 to £3,000, which it will be as of April this year. So that's not a lot of time at all, really. You're looking at only a few weeks. So yes, as I say, the main thing to consider is whether or not you're looking to avoid paying capital gains tax. Now, if you don't sell a lot of gold, then it may not be an issue to you, because you only pay capital gains tax on the profit that you make. And as I say, as of April this year, the allowance will be reduced to £3,000. So you have to make £3,000 in profit before you start paying capital gains tax. So I know a lot of people aren't particularly worried about capital gains tax, and if that's the case, I highly recommend purchasing a 1 ounce gold bar if you're able to do so. But as I say, if you are worried about capital gains tax payments in the future, you may be better off sticking to a 1 ounce gold Britannia, because with them having legal tender status, it does mean that they are exempt from capital gains tax payments. Okay, so I've probably rabbled on enough for now, but before I leave you all, I would like to once again thank Cardiff Gold for sponsoring this video, and also remind people that you can find items like this 1 ounce gold bar right here, as well as many others on their wonderful website, the link to which you will find in the description of this video. But with that being the case, I'm going to leave you all by saying, until next time, as always, look after each other, keep stacking, take care, and goodbye.